This February, we are celebrating Unity and Grace from Psalms 133 for Black History Month. Today, our topic is unity in education, and we are focusing on groundbreakers like Katherine Johnson. She was an American mathematician whose calculations led to the success of NASA's space flights. And we honor our late pastor, Reverend Dr. George O. McCaleb Jr., founder of the prestigious Green Forest McCaleb Christian Academic Center.
Our children will learn who they are and whose they are. They will learn that they belong to God, and they will learn that their history did not begin on a slave ship, but they are indeed sons and daughters of kings and queens.
Green Forest members are continuing to be trailblazers in education, as we learn in this Black History Moment with Crystal Cortell.
Psalm 133 says that it is good for brothers and sisters to dwell together in unity. This month at the Forest, we're celebrating unity in culture, health and fitness, education, and business. If we look back at our history, during the Reconstruction era, African Americans saw education as an important step towards achieving equality, independence, and prosperity. Getting a good education these days is considered just as valuable today as it was back then. Right now, we're going to hear more about unity in education from Dr. Bruce McColum, the head of school at the Green Forest McCaleb Christian Academic Center, and Sister Yolanda McColum, office manager at Morehouse College. Dr. Bruce, how does an African American educational environment contribute to unity among people of color?
Growing up in Macon, Georgia, in a fairly large southern city, my mom opted for me to go to the Eurocentric school in hopes of getting the better education. I was one of 2 blacks in the whole class growing up. And so some of the things that I felt that I missed, I didn't know I missed until I went to Morris Brown College, where it was 98% black. And I developed that village concept of learning where we can show togetherness, and we bonded more because we had so much in common that I didn't know we had in common. For instance, one of my roommates had a checking account, which I had no idea what a checking account would have been as a young black man. But that village concept went a long way in developing the type of paradigm that will shift me over to where I am now at Green Forest Christian Academy, because it's so unique to be at a black institution where kids can actually pray, talk about the Bible, and continue to master their education in a way that we can push ways of learning that we couldn't do in a public school, and then make it understandable for our black students. And that's a wonderful experience.
Sister Yolanda, talk about your experiences with historically black institutions and why it's important that they be preserved.
I attended a white high school where we had 350 in the class, and of that number, only 7 were black. So I was inspired to go to a black institution because my uncle and aunt had both attended Morris Brown College. And when I arrived at Morris Brown College, one of the things I noticed that we had support from our instructors. We felt more like a family instead of a number. And whenever we needed financial assistance, they would work with us, and we could work a part-time job, and we had a year to pay that balance off. It's totally different now. So the experience of just having the support from not only faculty and staff, but the students, we bonded, and we had study hall and we supported each other.
Dr. Bruce, discuss the effects of COVID-19 on the Green Forest McCaleb Christian Academy. How is the school unified in efforts to forge ahead in academics?
At Green Forest, it's both positive and negative aspects of COVID. In terms of positive, the fact that we had learned how to do virtual learning, it is positive because at the time now, if there's inclement weather, we are able to carry on school without saying that, well, we got to take spring break away because we have to make up time. Instead, we learn how to work virtually. The negative is that it is my belief, and the research shows that studying away from face-to-face learning is sort of detrimental to some population of our students, especially our black kids. Many of our black kids need that face-to-face reaction where if they have a question, they can ask a question to the teacher rather than going to a chat box. And personally, I probably had ADD, BDD, and everything else, and so I needed an opportunity to speak to the person that's there rather than working virtually.
Sister Yolanda, getting a college education can be an expensive and seemingly unattainable goal for many African American students. How is Morehouse taking an active role in providing educational opportunities for all students, including those from underserved communities?
Morehouse has a campaign that they've started, and it is where they are trying to reach $500 million. And the funds for that will help students, underprivileged students with good GPAs to attend Morehouse College. So that's a great venture that they've started. And also we were blessed a couple of years ago where we had our commencement speaker to pay the balance of the participants that graduated in that particular year. And one of Green Forest's own, Jontavius Johnson, was a recipient of that scholarship. So that was truly a blessing. His mom, Beverly Johnson, shouted all over the grounds of Morehouse and left her shoes there. Yes. So it's an advantage of going to HBCUs.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bruce and Sister Yolanda, for your insights into the ever-evolving field of education. We'll see you next time for our Black History Moment in Business. And also next Sunday, our youth are excited to present their I Praise Black History program. It is good for us to dwell together in unity. God wouldn't have it any other way. Back to you, Marcus and Myron.
I'm Marcus.
And I'm Myron.
And that's what's up at the Forest.